Hey, how's it going? Been a while. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm really growing stuff in earnest this time. It's really coming along very nicely. It's been a while since I've made a video, since I made my garden overview. Thought I should probably give you an update on how things are moving along. And I'd have to say overall, really, really well. Really happy with how things are going. Might as well just go right through, make this as quick as we can here. The first row is all San Marzanos, 6 buckets and 12 plants total. Some of these I did have to restart because of the frost. This one, for example, only this high. That started probably a month after the other guys. And all my restarts are from cuttings. I cloned them and rooted them and put them back out. One thing about them is I've noticed that my San Marzanos are really only this tall. All of them the same idea. Now they are indeterminate, which means they should be climbing up the bobbins, but they have not. They've sort of stopped at about 3.5 feet or so. I'm okay with that. They're short, but they're very full, very bushy. Lots and lots of tomatoes going on here, on really all of the plants, no matter their age, and more flowers, more tomatoes on the way. So I'm really happy with them, and I'm hoping that they're really tasty. I'm pretty sure they will be. These, by the way, all of these seeds came from Flowerhen for my San Marzanos. And if you haven't seen Flowerhen's latest video of her garden, it is fantastic. So I'll link to her down in the description too. We're gonna, through the magic of video, hop over to row 2. Bam! Crazy. Amazing, isn't it? So in this row, we have all, well, I shouldn't say all. The first 4 buckets are Amish paste. And they're all doing pretty well. This first one was a replant, you know, again from a sucker that I cloned and replanted out here. All lots of nice fruit looking coming out already, and nothing really ripening except this one tomato right here, turning a bit of an orange color. I'm not sure if that's a good sign or not, but keep an eye on it anyway. But all the Amish paste looking really good. And if we stop down to the last 2 buckets, so the last 4 plants, all of these guys are Jaspers. And these, holy cow, I'm 6'5". Now granted, we got probably maybe a foot and a half up to where the plants start here. But I've had to lower them and move them over a notch. And they're still well above the rail up here. And I'm guessing they're probably maybe 8-9 foot tall, something like that. Just a crap ton of these beautiful looking little marble-sized cherry tomatoes, and a lot more coming up top here. And some of these, I got a couple that are ripening. One of them looks like it's probably going to be ready the next day or two, so I'm looking forward to munching that first little Jasper cherry tomato. And over here in the 3rd row, I've got 3 buckets of Hawaiian beefsteaks, seeds which I also got from Flowerhen, by the way. They had a little bit of a rough start because of the frost, but they have since taken off tremendously. I don't think they're going to be a huge producer, but it looks like there's going to be some really nice fruit, some rather large, obviously beefsteak size tomatoes. Looking forward to that. We got lots of tomatoes coming out, nothing ripening yet. Up here we got 3 buckets of brandywine, so 6 brandywine plants. And most of these, because they are not real prolific, so I did let them split. And most of these plants, I've got 2 main vines coming up and tomatoes coming out on each one. I had a little bit of blossom end rot on some of these early brandywines, but they've cleaned up quite a bit. I haven't seen any for a while. And in row 4, we have some really nice looking Valencias. These, by the way, were my favorite plants, or my favorite tomatoes from last year, my favorite tasting. They were just delicious. So I got 3 buckets of those, and so 6 plants. Look at the size of that sucker. Holy cows. I'm looking forward to that one ripening up. And they're looking really good. I got some early blight down here at the bottom. I haven't cleaned that up yet, but I'll be taking those leaves off. But really started out very early with the fruit developing, and it's doing really well. So I think I'm going to have a lot of Valencias with just these 6 plants. Then we have 1 bucket of brandywines. This was supposed to be all Italian heirlooms, but the frost really did a number on my Italians. So I've only got 3 Italian heirloom plants here. They are probably lagging the most behind all the rest of the plants, but still doing pretty well. I think I'm going to get a few really nice tomatoes off of there, and those are really nice slicers. And here's a little fun. I have a cucumber plant here amongst my tomatoes. It is doing its best to climb up this string, and no huge cucumbers, mind you, or pickles, I should say, but or what will be pickles, I promise. But the plant itself is looking really good, and here on row 5 and 6. We have the pepper row, and this is laid out a little bit differently. On both sides here we have my King of the North, what I like to call my Ned Starks. So these 6 or 12 actually plants, 6 buckets, are all King of the North. And not as prolific as my other peppers here, but they are looking mighty fine. Lots of tomatoes, lots of peppers. And I think they're gonna be a little slower, but they're gonna produce quite a bit at the end of the season. I've had only a couple that were really ripe enough to eat, and some of my early peppers of both varieties were horrible. Let's just say that they were bitter. They did not taste like a pepper. They didn't have any sweetness to them. I was very, very disappointed, and I thought, this is silly to even keep growing them if that's how they're going to taste. But through a little research, finding a few things out, I think that they were starved for water. They had real thin walls, and what I did is I went with Brock Hughes's method of watering. He lets his go 24/7, and I have adopted that philosophy, and my peppers, the ones that are maturing now, taste a ton better. I mean, they actually taste like sweet peppers are supposed to. So I'm very, very happy about that. And I've got some, by the way, Ned Starks here, and then down here are my Carmens. I got these seeds from my buddy Dave at work, and he also gave me the Jasper seeds too, by the way. And holy cow, these are some prolific peppers right here. I've just got Carmen peppers everywhere in these 6 buckets. They are just, yeah, everywhere. I'll give you a close up here. I'm really looking forward to that one completely ripening and having a chow on that. That should be really delicious. So these are all my sweet peppers up this way. And then down here are more of the hot peppers. Not even really hot, I suppose, if you consider the ancho or the poblanos. I'm not sure which. But that's these 2 plants here. And they are doing really well. Nice big peppers on there. I have 1 bucket of cayennes. I've determined that really I need maybe 3 cayenne peppers a year to for my cooking needs. I'm not much of a real hot pepper sort of person. So I'll be giving a lot of those cayennes away. And then I have 1 bucket of jalapenos over here. So that wraps up the hydroponic part of the garden, and the part that I'm fairly proud of, that I think are doing really well. We'll go over to the dirt part in my raised beds here. Not that I'm not proud of it, mind you, but just seeing some other people's soil and how really marvelous their beds are. Mine, it really sucks. But I'm doing my best, and maybe in a few more years, the soil will get a little bit better in there, and my soil gardening will be better. But for now, this is what I got. I'll show you that here. Come on. So, as I was editing this video, I realized that if I were to include the raised beds in one big video, it was going to be way too long, almost 20 minutes. And for a garden update, for me, that's a little too long. So I decided that I would split this up between the hydroponic section and the raised bed section. In a couple of days, I won't wait a couple of weeks, just in a couple of days, I will upload the raised bed portion of the garden update, and you can finally see what I'm doing with the raised beds, as sad as it may be. Anyway, well, in this case, we'll talk to you in a couple of days, and until then, see ya.